I hear from a lot of bankers, for example, that they're relationship-based lenders.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them, and I love all of them, so I'm not knocking them. Their version of building that relationship or nurturing that relationship is going out for lunch once every 3 months or so.
Yep.
What would you recommend to salespeople in terms of truly building like that deep relationship or those shared connections, like you mentioned, business for us? And if it's a banker, for example, what can they connect with their client on?
I'm going to go back to your verb, give. Give something that has no potential of bringing a sale to you. Giving selflessly. Now, that's the definition of helping. Help is the most powerful word in the English language. It will stop men in Armani suits on the streets of Manhattan when it's snowing. I did it. I know it works. The psychopaths don't respond to that. And that's 3% of the population. I don't think you're one of those. So people want to be helped and want to help. And most people would rather help than be helped, especially us guys. We're macho. We don't want. So what can a banker give to their customer? It's an article they just ran across online. In fact, this morning, I mentioned this to the group I spoke to this morning. I stumbled across this article. I need to send this to this gentleman, but I was in a rush to get out to the meeting, so I will do it when I get back to the hotel this afternoon. But that's not going to give me anything. It's part of his hobby. But he'll remember, Chuck remembers. Will it help him? Maybe. I've given things that don't help at all, but that's fine. I gave. Do you really care enough about the person? Now, for the banker, if they send someone an article about investing in one of the bank's instruments, that's not helping. That's called selling.
Right.
Okay. But what can you send? I'll give you an example. I bank with a major bank, and I won't mention any names because there's nobody here from Wells Fargo to defend them. And so my account was older than fax machines. I opened this account before anybody had a fax machine. And it was a community bank that was bought by another community bank that was bought by a state bank that was bought by a national bank that was bought by another national bank. Then it went to Wells Fargo. Well, that account was a mess. And I was getting all kinds of antsy letters, and we can't do this, and they were stopping things. And wait a minute. So I went down and I met Antonio. And I thought, okay, here we go. This is going to be, he's the branch manager. And we started going through all the different things. And he said, I will fix this. I will fix this. And I mean, it was a mess. My account number was 10 digits long. Today, account numbers are 12 digits long. We had to start with that, right? And he started going through it. And I mean, he worked on it incessantly. And he's a major bank. So we got everything done. We signed a bunch of papers. Everything's done. And then I get another letter. And the way he responded to that, he didn't fix it. Now, in fact, he did fix it, but somebody up the chain somewhere hit the wrong key on a computer somewhere. He took total ownership of it and constantly apologized and thanked me. I'm not one of their major depositors. I'm not one of their major users. I got a personal account, checking account, business checking account, and a savings account, like everybody else in the world, right? And so he's doing all of this stuff for me. Do you think I refer business to him?
100%.
Yes. Wouldn't think of anybody else.
And that goes back to genuinely wanting to help.
That's right. And I would say, no, let me do this. I'll call. No. I will do it. He knew the keys on the computer to hit that would open doors that I wouldn't know and that kind of thing. Well, that's great. Can we do that? I fly Delta Airlines. I lived in Atlanta most of my life. So if you live in Atlanta, you fly Delta. And huge airline, lots of people. And now I'm starting to be treated like royalty with these people. I've had them come up to me, and I do have 5 million miles. I should say that. So that makes a difference, I guess. But
that's a lot of miles.
They would come up and say, we so appreciate your business. And my response is, I appreciate you keeping the airplanes in the air while I'm on them. In fact, this really struck me the other day. My sister passed away, and we had to go
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And so this flight attendant came up, and I'm back in coach because it was last minute, and there were no seats up front anywhere. So I don't mind. We're going. And she saw the 5 million mile thing, and she said, "Why are you back?" I said, "Oh, it's last minute. My sister passed away." And she said, "Can I say a quick prayer?" Now, we think about business as cold and heartless. We think about customers as demanding and unrelenting. And sometimes we think about our boss as asking more of us than we want to give. But we're all people. It's a very small planet. And when we start treating each other like the people that we are, magical things happen.